What do you want to talk about? We got up at 4, gym at 4:20, little back and biceps, obviously they're huge. And now doing 30 minutes of cardio, do it 5 times a week, incline, usually about a 3.0 speed. Slowed it down a little bit today for the interview, but something to get the heart pumping. And I usually do about 1.5 miles post-workout, ideally. So I'm about, I think it's 21 weeks out from NPC, I don't know if it's called the Gladiator. Gladiator's in November. NPC bodybuilding show, open bodybuilding, not classic bodybuilding. Should be in the light heavyweight class. Obviously with bodybuilding, for those who aren't aware, on a stage in my skivvies, judged on size, density, leanness, posing, overall presence. Haven't bodybuilded on a stage, or competitive bodybuilder rather, for 13 years. So coming back to the sport after some injuries from powerlifting. Yeah, should be fun. We'll see. I started bodybuilding when I was 16. From 16 through 18, I did 5 shows. Obviously as like a teen, competed in open, novice. Always had fun doing it, but I was a way better strength athlete, so I dedicated all my adult life to powerlifting, training clients for powerlifting, powerlifting myself, traveling all over the country to do the sport. And then just had a couple of shitty injuries. Tore my quad 10 weeks ago. And then about 6 weeks ago, I tore a tendon in my shoulder. Not a complete rupture, but a tear. Tore some small muscles around it. And it just really put me out for competing in the spring. So I went back to the books, decided time to focus a little bit on that mind-muscle connection, which I try to teach all my clients about. Training really, lose some weight, feel better, get in better shape. And me, I got to compete in something. So instead of just doing it for fun, I decided to put a goal on it this day, May 10th, step on stage. And then it's about a 6-month total prep, 6-month commitment to stepping on the stage the best shape that I possibly can. And to be honest, there's just, back to my original point, I was tired of tearing stuff. A little bit more immobile than I wanted to be. That's why things tear. It's either immobility or weakness. So back to kind of like my building blocks of where I started. It's a lot more time, but at least I'm not tearing anything, which is nice. Mix it up. Obviously, your biggest commitment is going to be your diet, right? The workout program is obviously way different. I can train for 45 minutes now and do about 30 minutes of cardio after. So it's right around the same time I'd be training for powerlifting. The diet's a big mind switch. Went from eating basically whatever I wanted to exact gram weighed out meals, prepping 2 or 3 times a week, boiling pounds of chicken. But for me, for the mindset, it's always just, it's like a light switch, right? As soon as it's on, really, it's almost like I got blinders on. And not that nothing matters but the show, but when I have my time, like Jacob knows this, from like the 4 to 6 a.m., when it's my time to focus on everything, I can really make sure all my meals are prepped for the day, get to the gym, get in, get out, go to work, and everything revolves around eating my meals at a certain time, getting to bed at a decent time, and prepping just for the next day. It's just constant prep of food, training, I get enough water, supplementation. It's a big, I'd say it's way harder than powerlifting. Powerlifting, you kind of just show up somewhat if you have a good meat prep. Get away with eating a little worse, obviously, than a bodybuilder. But yeah, for me, just a light switch flipped, and it's just, nothing matters besides the show. I think I'm proving that I can do it again. You know, it's been so long since I stepped on stage, 13 years, right? I was basically I was still a child from 16 to 18. The thing is, it bugs me is I've talked about it for like a year and a half. Jacob knows this specifically through podcasting and stuff. I've talked about getting back on the stage, and I think my body forced me into it, which is fine. But it's just, I've talked about it for so long. I just wanted to make that step, commit to a show, commit to myself, you know, have it mean something to me to get back in shape. New sport, something I'm unfamiliar with really. After 13 years, I'm not familiar with the sport anymore. I keep up with it, but I don't know what these guys are gonna look like. And for me, it's just getting back on stage, getting in the best shape I could possibly get in my early 30s, and really just hopefully changing as well as how I eat, how I train, maybe train a little safer when I go make the jump back to powerlifting. And just doing something different to kind of change my mindset, right? We've been talking about transformation a lot, and just kind of transforming how I think, how I eat, how I move. Because even now I feel way better, and I'm only 6 weeks into this prep, feel night and day difference, and I'm just excited for the new challenge. And the whole thing for me is bodybuilding, people get so excited about the day of the show, but you really have to think about, just like in powerlifting, the day of the meet can be really hit or miss in powerlifting. You could have a really good day, a really bad day. Bodybuilding, typically you're always gonna be in shape. It's just if you're full or not, right, with carb timing. But you gotta enjoy the journey. And that's what I like. I like the journey. I don't like 30 minutes of cardio 5 times a week, but I enjoy the process and I respect the process to where, like, to me, this is exciting, it's fun. I have no problem getting up at 4, basically every day, getting on this treadmill or training, just because I respect the process so much that I don't, it's like when they tell you, like, you know, your kids are getting older, you gotta cherish these moments. Same thing with this training. I always cherish the workouts, I cherish the time, cherish watching your body change from, especially taking pictures. For me, I take it weekly. Man, this is what I looked like 5 weeks ago. Now this is what I look like. So seeing that change in that process, show day, show day. You never know who's gonna show up. I don't care. I'll be in the best shape I could possibly be, and I'm just here to enjoy the ride.